These are all the ingredients for bangers and mash. Italian sweet sausage, 1 yellow onion, 2 pounds of russet potato, flour, kosher salt, olive oil, beer, peppercorn, minced garlic, 3 tablespoons of butter, thyme, broth, apple cider vinegar, whole milk, and peas. It doesn't say to explicitly peel the potatoes, but I feel like it will be better if I do, so let's do it. And done. Our potatoes are peeled and the sausage is cooking.
This is where I first messed up because I forgot to dice the potatoes, and if you've ever tried to boil a potato that hasn't been diced, you'll know that it does not work. So you'll see I come back to realize that later.
Now it's time to make the gravy. This is the onion going into the gravy. I'm supposed to use a whole one, but frankly, this is a lot, and I don't even like onion that much. Recipe calls to add a little bit more oil to the onions, and that's gonna simmer on high heat for the gravy. Slight setback, the potatoes were nowhere near tender, so I'm gonna have to reboil them because I just dumped out all the water to check. Another setback on the potatoes. I totally forgot to dice them, and that's why they weren't cooking through. So now I started it again for the third time and bring it to a boil and hopefully cook the whole thing. Gravy's looking good.
I got carried away with cooking, so I did not record what happened from the last clip up until now. In the time since the last video, I added flour, garlic, thyme, chicken broth, and vinegar into the gravy. And what is being pictured is me basting the sausages in that new gravy.
Now I'm going to microwave some peas.
Here is my finished abomination, and as you can tell, I am stoked to be eating it. Bangers and mash is a common pub grub food found in all of Great Britain and Ireland. The term bangers is supposed to have came from World War I, when there was a shortage in meat, so other fillers would be injected into the sausage, most commonly water, which caused the sausage to explode under high heat. The mash part is just that, mash like mashed potatoes. I guess they couldn't find a cool way to incorporate the peas into the name of the dish. Expanding more on the Ireland side of bangers and mash is commonly made on St. Patrick's Day, despite the dish not traditionally being Irish. St. Patrick's Day spread to Britain in the 17th century when Irish soldiers serving in the British Army would hold parades in celebration to mark the occasion. Bangers and mash became a popular dish to serve to the masses on the holiday because it is a simple dish to make in large quantities and was enjoyed by everybody. Instead of it just being a festive food, only eaten on one day of the year, during both World Wars, it was a common cheap dish to make for British families. The original dish I chose was going to be a full English breakfast, but I decided against it since, one, I already know how to make breakfast food, and most of that dish is just simply throwing things on a pan and letting them cook. And two, I was in the mood for trying something I never had before, and bangers and mash just sounded good. The ingredients were not at all hard to find, as most of them were already in my kitchen from previous grocery trips that my mom went on. The only ingredients that I bought were the sausage, onion, potatoes, and peas. And another reason why I chose bangers and mash over the full English breakfast is because the full English breakfast includes black pudding, which is a sort of blood sausage, and is very hard to find in the States. In preparing the dish, I cooked the sausage first and then made gravy in the leftover juices of the sausage. I boiled potatoes and then mashed them. The peas were just microwaved. If I'd have spent a little more time reading the recipe, I would have had a little less hiccups than what I had. But to be fair to myself, the listed ingredients for this dish on the website did not include peas, despite peas being shown in the picture they used for the dish. which is why I had to go out a second time to get them. I also retrospectively read the reviews that people left on this recipe, and some self-proclaimed natives of Britain questioned why Italian sausage was used, as the traditional sausage is Cumberland sausage. Overall, the instructions were fine. I've never cooked a dish before that I didn't already know how to make in the back of my head, so I would call it an okay first attempt at cooking a proper meal. I personally did not like my dish. I thought it looked way better than it tasted, but my mom disagrees because she thought it was okay. I was enjoying the progress I was making up until I think I added either way too much garlic or cider vinegar, or both. My mom's only complaint was that the sausage was slightly undercooked and the potatoes were a little too salty. I did not like the taste of the gravy because of the overpowering taste of garlic and or the vinegar, I'm still not sure, and the texture of the undercooked sausage made me feel a little uneasy. The potatoes, however, tasted great, I thought. I was happy with how I made those. And the peas were unremarkable because they're peas. I would not make this dish again, because I feel I am too underskilled to make something like this, so if I were to attempt to make it again, I would like to get my skill up in the kitchen first. I would like to try it from someone who actually knew how to do it, though. I do plan on going to a pub in London and getting a properly made bangers and mash to really determine if I do or do not like this.